So many people think Oda is an Admiral's hater after Rocksteady Zephyr just killed an Admiral. Now, we do not know who the Admiral is. He pretty much is a no-named Admiral, so shouldn't be too much stock into Rocks killing an annoying Admiral into like hurting the Admiral agenda. Like, obviously, I'm not a big fan of the Admiral agenda. You guys know me, I'm Team Yonko every day of the week. I made so many videos about this. Like, I'm not gonna act like I'm not favored towards one side, but I still respect the Admirals in certain contexts. And that's the thing Admiral fans need to understand. There's context in which guys are really not Admiral level, but the base to me has always been Admiral level, and Rocks killing an Admiral is not really a diss to Admirals, because we had Big Mom and Kaido falling to worst gen in Wano. Like, we have Buggy becoming a Yonko, that pretty much making the Yonko a laughing stock, though I would say that it's pretty much Miyako who is the true Yonko that's like catapulting Buggy. Like, his bounty is even higher than Buggy. But yeah, like, we've seen situations of like Yonkos, even Luffy's a relatively new Yonko, Blackbeard was a relatively new Yonko. Like, they're not insanely powerful. Like, the base Yonko level is not insanely powerful, guys. Same way the base Admiral level is not insanely powerful. There's just a gap. Admiral, there is a big range to it. I think the Admiral range is way bigger than the Yonko range, and I'll discuss that more towards after I go a deep dive on the Admirals. So like the video, guys, but I'm gonna tell you guys this: I care more about you guys subscribing to the channel than liking the videos, because we're so close to 100k subscribers. So of course, hit that subscribe button. A lot of you guys have been watching my videos and don't even know you haven't subscribed, so just hit the subscribe button. It's super easy as we do a deep dive on how strong truly are the Admirals after this recent installment of an Admiral dying. Now, the last time the Admiral stock took a big hit like this was probably Zephyr. Zephyr was an old gen legendary Admiral that a lot of the new Marines in the current story were under him in a sense, and he had a whole movie, and in this movie talked about how a warlord during the time skip took his arm off, and many people thought it was Edward Weevil. Some think it's Dracula Mihawk, the Marine Hunter. But you have to understand, the movie's not really canon. Zephyr still hasn't been canonized by Oda. So yes, it kind of did hit the Admiral stock, but I will admit Zephyr isn't really mentioned at all in the canon story. So Admirals don't really take this too seriously, guys. Then there's Greenbull, which in my opinion, Greenbull is the weakest Admiral. And if you look at Greenbull, he's not that weak, yo. He pretty much beat Edward Weevil, who's compared to Whitebeard in his youth in power and strength. Like, Weevil is incredibly powerful as a warlord. His bounty, don't look at his bounty and think, oh, that's how strong he is. No, he is a Yonko commander level character. So seeing Greenbull do that was cool. Then we have to understand this: Greenbull also defeated King and Queen. Now, they were weakened. If they were healthy, Greenbull cannot defeat them 2v1. But Greenbull, after defeating them, said, I can't lose to Yonko commanders as an Admiral. So Greenbull even knows his rank. Like, his rank pretty much means you cannot lose to guys in a weaker rank than you. And to him, Yonko commanders are a weaker rank to him. Now, Yamato, it was a little bit of a different story, as Yamato hit Greenbull with Conqueror's Haki coding, and Greenbull pretty much was like impressed of how strong her Haki was. And Red Scabbards didn't want Yamato to fight, so Greenbull's low diffing the Red Scabbards. It's like Greenbull has high highs, but he also has low lows, like the situation that we've seen when it comes to Shanks coming there to Wano and not even stepping on the island and having him back down with his Conqueror's Haki. Now, Greenbull, people have to understand this. Yes, Greenbull gets punked by Shanks' Conqueror's Haki, but Greenbull is more so like shocked by how strong the Conqueror's Haki is, and then says, yeah, I don't really go against the red hair pirates, not yet. So like, Greenbull still isn't like running away like, oh, I'm scared of these guys, they're gonna kill me. Like, he's more so like using his brain in a sense. But that was a very embarrassing moment for Greenbull, if I'm being honest. I've never seen an Admiral get like punked like that in the series in general. Now, after that, of course, Greenbull, there really hasn't been much on him. We know he's targeting Luffy, so you could expect a Greenbull appearance in Elbaf. And Oda has been hyping up Greenbull in a sense. We've seen him and Fujitora go at it during the Reverie 2 as well. So Greenbull is not completely weak, but he does have bad moments. And I think Greenbull is the definition of Admiral level. Like, if people ask me what Admiral level is, just whatever Oda shows us how strong Greenbull is with his Delph Fruit, insane Delph Fruit, might I add, that's probably an Admiral level. And Greenbull has one of the strongest Logies I've actually seen in the series. Now, the next person I want to discuss is Fujitora, another new Admiral after the time skip. Now, Fujitora has a supreme grade sword. We know he has insane observation Haki because he's blind. He has an insane Delph Fruit that can affect gravity. We've seen him go against the Revolutionary's strongest commander in Sabo, and pretty much do well against Sabo. Like, Sabo was going up against an Admiral. You could tell that Fujitora had the edge, in my opinion, even though it was kind of like evenly matched during Dressrosa. And that's Sabo, who hasn't really trained Mary no Mi. So obviously Sabo's gotten stronger since, but still, I gotta give respect to respect to do. Fujitora was the strongest to me on Dressrosa. Yes, stronger than Sabo. Yes, stronger than Doflamingo. Yes, stronger than Luffy at the time. Now I'll say this: we haven't really seen much of Fujitora after that. We do know he got into it with Akainu, and Akainu, I look at Akainu as extremely powerful. So Fujitora wasn't fearful of a guy of that level of power, the Fleet Admiral. And then of course we know Jack's situation, but Jack's the young commander, so like that was just more stupidity of Jack and like how crazy he is as a beast pirate. And then of course you also have to don't forget Sengoku and Suru did help out Fujitora in that situation too as well. So it's not like Fujitora just 1v1 Jack. Like that's a good feat. I think Fujitora can 1v1 Jack. Like Jack to me is not an insanely monster character, but it's at the end of the day, facts are facts. Now of course Fujitora and Greenbull going at it during Reverie was cool and all, and even seeing Fujitora go at it with Caruso. I forgot to mention that Greenbull went up against, of course, Morley, but yeah, seeing Fujitora against Caruso, I think Caruso's a really strong revolutionary commander, and seeing Fujitora go at it, it's cool enough. But at the end of the day, your Admiral rank puts you in disgusting territory, after Marineford especially. So if I'm being honest, Fujitora, I still think hasn't seen his full potential. I think a Zoro fight is definitely due. We saw the preview of that in Dressrosa. And I think Fujitora doesn't really make the Admirals look that bad, if I'm being honest, compared to Greenbull. Like, he hasn't really had a moment where he got punked like Greenbull. But I still think you haven't really shown me anything to like compare it to the Yonko. And I think even when Luffy was leaving Dressrosa, he told Fujitora, I'm trying to go against you guys and the Yonko. And Fujitora's like, yo, the Yonko's gonna be after you now. Like, Fujitora even respects Yonkos. You saw how he was fanboying over rocks, like, because of all 3 former Yonkos being on that crew. So definitely gotta say, Fujitora, yes, you haven't really get punked like that, but you haven't really shown me anything crazy. So yeah, you definitely got to be put in the base Admiral level for, like, when people are talking about Admiral level, you're talking about Greenbull, you're talking about Fujitora. That's the base to me, which is pretty strong, if I'm being honest. It's not weak. Like, if I had a young commander of Fujitora and Greenbull level, I'm definitely in contention for Pirate King. Like, those guys are monsters. Now, the next up person I want to talk about is Kizaru. Kizaru to me is interesting because Marineford, like, obviously his introduction to Sabo already destroying rookies, but it's rookies, yo. Like, who cares? Like, yes, he destroyed rookies, and then he fought Rayleigh, who to me, Rayleigh in his prime was Yonko level. Like, to me, Rayleigh was a Silver's king. The Silver's Rayleigh Dark King. He was insanely powerful. We're gonna see what he does in God Valley. We know how much of a monster he was. Yes, we had Kankazaki coding like Scar Vagabond, the left wing, and Kozuki Oden, who also joined later. So like, yeah, Rayleigh's a monster. Like, that's no questions asked. He's Yonko level to me in his prime. But when he won him against Kizaru, that's when I was like, oh, Rayleigh's actually more so Admiral level. Now, the fact that he's going up against Kizaru and not Greenbull and Fujitora, to me, Rayleigh is higher Admiral level. He's not like the low Admiral level. He's extremely high Admiral level, because Kizaru to me is extremely high Admiral level. Like, if Kizaru's fighting Fujitora and Greenbull, I think there's a gap. And that's what we have to understand. Like, there is a big range when it comes to the Admirals and that levels. Like, Kizaru's the same guy who wanted to go to Wano, for goodness sake, to go see Big Mom and Kaido. And if Kizaru's fighting Big Mom, it's not a wash. Like, if Kizaru's fighting Kaido, it's not a wash. Even though I do think Kaido does overpower Kizaru because the durability is insane. Like, we saw Kizaru versus Luffy in Egghead Island, and we saw Kaido against Luffy in Wano. And yeah, we could definitely understand that yes, Kaido would beat Kizaru in a fight. It would be like high diff, but he would beat Kizaru. Big Mom, it's a little bit different, but I still think that Big Mom has that durability that which can bypass a lot of Kizaru's attacks. But Kizaru is stronger than Kid-in-Law and has stronger attacks than Kid-in-Law. So speed is weight is definitely a sentence in the series for a reason. So Kizaru could definitely outmaneuver and finesse a win out of Big Mom more so than Kaido. But yeah, I definitely think Kizaru in Marineford didn't get touched. He was going up against Marco, the vice captain to Whitebeard. And if I'm being honest, Kizaru has had good showings in the series where you start to think, is Admiral level a thing? Could it just be Yonko level and the Admirals are in that level? Like, Kizaru is one of those characters that really pushes your limits, especially how he did against Gear 5. Let's talk about it, guys. Gear 5 with one attack to his head had him not moving. But if I'm being completely honest, Gear 5 ran out. And when Gear 5 ran out, then Luffy is a Yonko level character. I'm not going to deny that, yo. He defeated Kaido. That's a lot of help, but still. And Luffy is probably like that low Yonko level right now. And Kizaru had a chance to kill him. He gave him food. He gave him a whole McDonald's Happy Meal, like, to feed him pretty much. Like, that to me is like, it's crazy that Kizaru actually did that, so Luffy could save Vegapunk. But Luffy, when he's in Gear 5, does overpower Kizaru, and Kizaru was running most of the fight. And Kizaru, after fighting Snake Man, said, "Oh, now I know how you defeated Kaido." Like, he even faced Gear 5 yet. So yeah, in my opinion, I believe Luffy was trying to show that he's 100 times stronger. Luffy's trying to show that if he's what pretty much Shaki said to Luffy is that Rayleigh's 100 times stronger than you, and Rayleigh was going against Kizaru. So there is an argument to say that low Yonko level and high Admiral level might be close, super close. That's why Luffy, I do think Luffy's stronger than Kizaru, but Kizaru is not that far from Luffy. Like, I get how prove that to me. Like, yes, Kizaru has no moves to actually put Luffy down, but Kizaru with his speed and his intelligence battle experience can definitely outlast Gear 5, and that's a big deal. Now, next on my list is Aokiji. I think Aokiji probably of any Admiral is the closest to Yonko level. The reason why I say this is who he was trained by. Aokiji was trained by Garp. No dub fruits, no haki, just those battleship bags. That already knew his physical strength is out of this world. Secondly, Marineford definitely made a lot of people look at Aokiji as the weakest pre-time skip Admiral because Jozu made him bleed. Yes, like how is Jozu making bleed? Like, so first of all, Jozu is using his diamond, the hardest thing in the One Piece world, with his haki. Of course he can make Aokiji, who's focused on Whitebeard himself. Like, Aokiji attacked Whitebeard not multiple times in the series. Like, he's not focused on Jozu. Of course he can make him bleed if he sneaks him, yo. But Jozu, don't forget this, out of every Admiral, Jozu got his arm cut off. Like, Kizaru didn't do any physical damage to Marco where like he lost a limb or anything. No, Jozu was defeated by Aokiji once Jozu was distracted. So it really shows like, yeah, Aokiji there was a huge gap between Aokiji and Jozu, and then people look at Ace and Aokiji in that clash. Like, it's natural elements going against each other. Fire melts ice, everybody knows that, so that's not really a big deal as well. And we know Aokiji is a really strong combat fighter after seeing him train with Garp, so like it's not that big of a deal. And then the Garp fight, Garp to me in his prime is parking level, so to do the mathematics he has to be Yonko level in his old age. He's not sick like Whitebeard, he's a Yonko level character, and Aokiji was doing relatively well against Garp, though he did get help from Sanwan Wolf, of course, Avalu Pizaru, and the biggest help was from Shitty the Rain, the actual vice captain to Blackbeard Pirates with that sword attack. Still, I have to give respect to respect is due. Aokiji did pretty impressive against a Yonko level character in Garp, but I think this fight really made it known to me that yes, an old Yonko level character like Garp to me is on the low level of Yonko level, and Aokiji, who's pretty much the closest to Yonko level to me from pre-time skip Admirals, and there still was some question marks here. Like, if I'm being completely honest, guys, yes, he destroyed Cracker, which was cool and all, like the way he did that. Like, Yonko's level characters should be destroying guys like Cracker. Like, that's what people expected of Jozu. If Jozu got that hit, if Jozu didn't get that hit, Aokiji would be doing Yonko level narrative things in the story. So I think Aokiji fighting Akainu for 10 days is also a big thing too as well. Like, Akainu became Fleet Admiral after defeating Aokiji after 10 days. It's, I think, the only current story where in a 1v1 fight where someone gets defeated like that level, of that top tier level. So that's pretty cool. Now, to stop the slander, I obviously Greenbull, Fujitora, Kizaru, Aokiji, I was doing a lot to slander the Admiral level and say like, yeah, there's a low level and there's a high Admiral level. But there is exceptions to guys who are not actually Admiral level who are Admirals. Like, there's Akainu. Akainu during Marineford took off half of Whitebeard's face and put a magma in his gut. Yes, Whitebeard was old and sick, but still, Akainu was doing relatively well. Like, we seen Marco and Vista try to use haki on him. It had no effect on him. We've seen the entire Whitebeard commanders plus Crocodile try to go against him. No effect on him. Like, we've seen Akainu had to be stopped by a high Yonko level character, Shanks, for him to actually stop his rampage, guys. That to me is power. Oda said Akainu, if he was the main character, would find the One Piece in 1 year. How is that Admiral level? To me, that automatically means that Akainu can't be Admiral level, even pre-time skip. Yeah, I think Akainu pre-time skip is around like in the lowest Yonko level characters. I know people think, oh, Aokiji found 10 days and he should be on the same too. I think there's a difference. Aokiji and Akainu, that's more so two Logias going at it, knowing each other's weaknesses and whatnot is a difference. Akainu still was on or came over top. I think the fact that Blackbeard ran away from Akainu after getting Whitebeard's Dove Fruit, that was insane as well. And Akainu is now Fleet Admiral, and he hasn't really done much post-time skip. Oda saving him. Yeah, to me, Akainu pre-time skip was like lowest of Yonko level, and post-time skip, Akainu was high Yonko level. Akainu to me got stronger after post-time skip, and he's gonna be a real threat in the final saga. People think just because he's not doing nothing, he's like irrelevant now. No, Imu and all these guys make Akainu look weak. No, Akainu's still gonna be a monster, and I can't wait. And there's a reason why he's on that final page of chapter 1121. Yes, claim the One Piece. Akainu is about to do some big things. Now, the next character that really makes us look at Admirals different, and is there even an Admiral level, is Sengoku. Now, people think, wait, Sengoku? Some people even call him Bum Goku. No, but Sengoku is pretty powerful, guys. He has a mythical zone, guys. He was one of the first characters to have a mythical zone, and it's kind of similar to Luffy's. Like, he has the human Hito no Mi, the mythical zone special type of the Buddha of Adult Fruit. Luffy has the same thing with the Hito no Mi, and of course, he has the model type Nika. Like, they have some insane mythical zone powers. Sengoku's power, to me, is technically a legendary Adult Fruit. If I'm being honest, nobody talks about it, but it kind of is a legendary Adult Fruit. Sengoku. The seismic waves he was doing in Marineford when he actually was attacking the Blackbeard pirate. There's a reason why Oda had him fight Blackbeard after he got the Gurgur no Mi. Like, of course, people look at, oh, he couldn't even stop Luffy with his Gear 3rd balloon in Marineford. Like, no, don't look at that, guys. Like, that's not that serious. Sengoku wasn't, like, I'll be honest with you, like, narratively, Sengoku should have washed Luffy. Same way Garp should have washed Luffy. There's some plot there that you have to actually acknowledge. Now, I do want to say this, Sengoku after the time skip to me is like probably back to like high Admiral level after time skip, but pre-time skip Sengoku and probably Sengoku in his prime was Yonko level. Like Goldie Roger said, bring me Garp and Sengoku. If the Pirate King is telling only 2 Marines are close to him that give him the fun, they have to be Yonko level because he's Pirate King level. And then the fact that Sengoku told Garp, Shiki's my business. Shiki to me was Yonko level back in the days, a legendary strong with 3rd strongest Rocks crew member. Yeah, Sengoku to me does change the how we look at Admiral level because he is to me Yonko level. The next person is Kong. Kong to me hasn't done shit, but he's Kong. Like his name sounds cool. No, okay, let me be serious, guys. Kong was the fleet admiral during Garp and Sengoku's prime Yonko level days. So if Kong was the fleet admiral, he's telling Garp, yo, go to God Valley, and he himself is not even going to God Valley when Rocks and Roger and all these monsters are there. That means he probably is one of the strongest defenses for the Marines. We never seen him get bodied before in the series. He probably was an admiral when Rocks killed an admiral 18 years before God Valley. Like, I'll be honest with you, Kong probably is stronger than the admiral that got smoked too. I think Kong is Yonko level, and the reason why Oda hasn't shown him yet, he kind of changes the dynamic of admirals in Yonko. So I think Kong is definitely, you gotta put him in that group. Like, I think he's around the same level as Sengoku, if I'm being honest, in his prime. So there's a reason why Sengoku became lead admiral just like Kong did. I think Kong is an insane mythical zone just like Sengoku did. So yeah, put some respect on his name. And I forgot to mention, Sengoku had Conqueror's Haki too, guys. Like, come on, guys. Conqueror's Haki for an admiral makes you Yonko level. We seen what it did in Wano, guys. And then there's Monkey D. Garp, the hero of the Marines. To me, Monkey D. Garp isn't even Yonko level. He goes beyond that. Yes, he wasn't in Kaido's top 5, but Kaido never ran into Garp. Garp to me is Pirate King level. All his duels with Goldie Roger, we just seen recently in the last chapter, he was going out of Goldie Roger, getting a nice fist to Roger's face in their young days. And now 6 years before God Valley. Then we can't forget that Garp is a Conqueror's Haki coding user. That already makes him insane as well. Then we can't forget that he got the credit for taking down Rocks alongside Roger. That is insane as well. And then the narrator said that Rocks, Roger, and Garp, it was there, like they were going ham during this time. So a lot of hype to Garp. Yeah, we know that of course he went up against Shiki with Sengoku, and they took down Shiki as well. Although it makes Shiki look stronger because he destroyed half of Marineford and took 2v1. Still, Garp did that. Garp in the series got recognized by Roger. Whitebeard even recognized him during Marineford and telling everyone to like, don't take him, who cares, he's just an old guy. Everyone was like shocked about Garp being there. Yeah, and then against Aokiji, what he did with the Galaxy Impacts and then the insane Conqueror's Haki coding and the Haki clashes and the physical strength, even after getting stabbed by Shuri the Rain. Like, Oda made him get stabbed by Shuri the Rain, not Aokiji for a reason, yo. Oda wanted Garp weakened so he can get taken down, so it made sense. So yeah, even Blackbeard was shocked that Garp was taken down. So yeah, I think Garp is the pinnacle of Marines, and he goes beyond Yonko level, and he definitely helps the Admiral case because he never, well, I think Oda never made him an Admiral for a reason, maybe because like even your strongest guy was never even Admiral. He refused. So yeah, I think Garp definitely helps the Admiral case in my opinion, and it makes you think like maybe there isn't an Admiral level, more so an Admiral minimum level. Like it's like a minimum test, like you got to reach a minimum level of power to get there, and the potential is insane. So yeah, this is my final thoughts on this video. I believe Admiral level is a base level, but the potential goes all the way to Yonko and even maybe Pirate King if you're on Garp's timing. So Kobe's dream is kind of endless in a sense, kind of like the Pirate King. It's like Kobe gets a lot of freedom once he becomes Admiral because he can be, of course, on the same level as Greenbull Fujitora. He can be on the same level as Kizaru Aokiji. He can be on the same level as Akainu and Sengoku, or he can be on the same level as Garp. Yes, Garp the Marine, and that's when he's going against Monkey D. Luffy toe to toe. So I think there's a lot of hype to the Admiral, a lot of L's to the Admiral, but it's a very vague and mixture of a bag. And also explains why Oda can show Admirals in so many different lights, like an Admiral like getting a no-name Admiral getting killed by Rocks, and then we having an Admiral helping out a Yonko during Akainu. Like Oda can do so many things with the Admirals, and that's why it's such a confusing time for fans, guys. But yes, I do think the base Yonko level is much stronger than the base Admiral level, but the potential of Admiral level is, there's no cap, guys. The same way the potential of Yonko level is no cap. We've seen with Shanks one hit Eustace Kid, and Big Mom was struggling against Eustace Kid and La. Like Big Mom never got the one hit Eustace Kid. Like, and they're both Yonkos. So yeah, there is definitely gaps in every rank. We see young commanders have gaps, admirals have gaps, and of course Yonkos have gaps. Like, and it's gonna get crazy when we start seeing Pirate King level characters having gaps. Imu, Roger, Rocks. I wonder what the Oda's gonna do there in that little ballpark over there.